to now go to the phones, and we're going to talk with Stephanie Gatewood, who is currently running for another political office. She had gone dark for a while, and a whole lot of things have changed with her since last you all heard from her. But let's talk to former Memphis City School Board Commissioner Stephanie Gatewood. Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. What about yourself?
I'm doing great. Hello, audience.
Okay.
Hope everybody is well.
Okay. School board, and I would say had a successful period on that board then, okay, and then left and started doing some other things and still doing a whole lot of other things, really. But you announced recently that you're making this run for the juvenile court clerk's position. First of all, how was, and I'm going to let you do it yourself, how was the term and how eye-opening was the term on the school board back then?
Oh, wow. So, good question. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So, the school board term was incredible. It was an incredible experience. Of course, you know that I served 2 full terms and half a term on the unified board.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about really dealing with working with parents and constituent services. That's about 80% of the work.
Mm-hmm.
Is really ensuring that those in our community have access to their schools, access to the elected officials, and access to betterment of the lives of their children. I really enjoyed. It was 3 women on the board that they said were hellraisers. I'm not sure how I got the hellraiser terminology, but Rhonda Halbert, Stephanie Gatewood, and Sarah Lewis. That's how they lumped me in those categories. But I just did what was right, and I spoke up for those who did not have a voice.
Okay. So that's a pretty good run for a person in the political arena then.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And now I will say that, again, like when I first ran, nobody knew me. I'm not from Memphis. I'm not a native Memphian.
Mm-hmm.
However, my father was military, and when we retired back here, he wouldn't let me go into the military.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So my give back was public service.
I thought you were a native Memphian.
No, I went to school. I was born in Germany.
Okay.
And I traveled extensively the country as a military dependent,
mm-hmm.
or i.e. military brat.
There you go.
Went to Fort Campbell High School.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that diversity is an experience that I think has really helped shape my policy and shape my worldview.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And to settle here in Memphis, and like I said, to do that term on the school board, after you got through with that, you stepped away from it for a while. But in the meantime, what are some of the things you've been doing? I know you've been busy, but the folks out there don't. Okay.
Sure. So I never really stepped away per se.
Mm-hmm.
So let me tell you what I did. The year I came off the school board, I went and to work for a local school. I was the family engagement specialist at Sharp Elementary.
Mm-hmm.
My duties were that of a quasi-assistant principal.
Mm-hmm.
I handled discipline. I was there for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really wanted to stay connected.
Mm-hmm.
People were like, well, you left school board to go work for a school?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what that showed me was that the policies that we made at the school level, at the school board level,
mm-hmm.
how it really impacted our families,
mm-hmm.
how it impacted our teachers, how it impacted our community.
Mm-hmm.
I also was responsible for community outreach,
mm-hmm.
so really building the community around to rally around the school.
Relationships.
Building relationships. You can't do anything without relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So that one piece of building relationships and collaboration, that's what I'm going to bring to juvenile court clerk.
Okay.
So let me just go back and talk about when I left the school board. When I left Sharp Elementary. So I left Sharp Elementary School and I went to work for Mayor Jim Strickland, and I was working in the Second Chance program there.
Mm-hmm.
There I was the case manager for women. So I taught women who, for second chance, like really being able to help them resumes and expungement of records and how to rebrand themselves and how to make sure that that they can be successful after a misstep, if you will.
But you know what? A lot of people thought that Second Chance program was primarily for men.
Or a Manhood University. It was. It did start out that way. And many people would say, well, what about the women? What about the women? Women need a second chance as well.
You're
and
right.
so I was the case manager for the women. It was a very successful program. I left the city of Memphis to work for Hope Works, where I was working in reentry. So now working in reentry was phenomenal. It was fascinating. My role was to go and teach women and men who were in prison, who were about to be returned back to society from incarceration. And so really being able to teach a mindset to say, you know what, yes, you did what you did, you paid the time. And that's another thing. Like, I feel that if they have made their time, they've done their time, then that needs to be set on that. They need to squash that. And so I was really, really big on restorative justice. Like, they need to be restored. They've done their time.
I agree.
Yeah.
So like I said, you've been busy with outreach efforts all through then, okay? What made you decide about the juvenile court clerk's office? What brought you to that?
What brought me to that? Well, I thought about all the experiences that I had in the past 25 years. And what really, really woke me up is I was actually working with one of my clients. And my client said, you know what, if I would have had help before I even became an adult, then maybe I wouldn't be down this road. And I thought, oh my goodness. And so I've been really contemplating juvenile court for the past 18 months. And when Janice Love said she was not returning back to office because of the illness, and y'all pray for her as well, please. I was like, oh, this is a perfect opportunity. So how about I bring all those experiences to juvenile court? Now, let me be clear. Juvenile court clerk, people think, oh, well, what are you going to do? Where you're like, you collect child support. No, juvenile court does not collect child support. In fact, juvenile court is the official keeper of records of juvenile court, which means everything that happens on the juvenile court judge side to the clerk side, the office is the engine that drives all other court functions. So efficiency. If we don't have efficiency, then nobody else can get their records. We are the court clerks are the official record keeper for the court. Now, obviously, I don't have to be the one to be the record keeper. However, it is putting the right people in place to do the work.
Management.
It is a court manager, absolutely. So, in that vein, I'm going to just share with you, if I may, that we're running on the accountability, because everybody needs to be held accountable. You have a job, and you need to do your job, and if you need help, or if you need professional development, then we are going to provide you with that, so we can give you all the tools to equip you to properly do your job. Respect. Everybody that comes as a user of the court deserves to get dignity and respect, talked to with dignity and respect. And then customer service. Like, I tell people, treat that person like you would want somebody to treat you or to treat your family, because that is somebody's family.
Because you know what, and I'm going to relay another story to you too. When I was a deputy administrator there, one of my coworkers made the comment one day, and he said, and we was looking at this long line of people. They were out in the hall, okay, and he said, it just goes to show you. I said, what? He said, they're not down here for something good. They're down here because something bad has happened, okay? And it's not coming together right, so that's why they're here, which is a good point. But I'm going to tell you something else, too. Stephanie, back in 2001, I think it was. I'll show you how long ago it was. Okay, Darrell Pleasant, who was also an administrator in the office at the same time with me, we took a couple of trips. One, we went to Birmingham, Alabama. Another Francisco, and it was very, very eye-opening to see what those juvenile court clerks were doing compared to what was the norm here in Shelby County. I mean, they were moving forward. I mean, they had a thing back then called teen court. Look, the juvenile court judge and the juvenile court clerks, they worked in unison, okay? Yeah. And like I say, Birmingham, Alabama, San Francisco, California.
Of course.
How much more diverse are you going to get than that?
Absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
So I'm just saying that, that office is due for an upgrade. And I'm not blaming it on Janice, because Janice hadn't been there, okay? And I think that's when really the growth of the clerk's office stopped. Now, I can say that because I did work in that office at one point, okay? And it is far different now than it was when I was there and then the first part of Janice's term, okay?
Right. Absolutely. And I think that, I know for a fact, one of the things that we have already started doing on the team, because we're pretty sure that nobody can out-campaign me, so we've worked so hard. And we have already started registering for organizations to help court managers so that we can get best practices. There's no reason that the files should not be digitalized right now. This is the 21st century. So why are we still checking out files the hard way, where you go and put it on a sheet of paper and give it to somebody in the window, and then they take the file, and then they say, okay, we're going to send it up. They should be able to be emailed to those courts. So really something so simple like that. So the leader of that court is responsible for setting the vision, and it's up to the team to make sure the vision plays out. And for me, that's what it's about. It's about efficiency. It's about having juvenile court be a place where people don't mind coming. And we already know, and then having people on the front lines that are compassionate. Not, and you see a big long line and you're like, I'm going to lunch. I don't know what they're talking about. No, that's not how we're going to do this here. I am a person who is not, like, I will empty the trash. I will answer the phone. I will help people get directed to different places. Nothing is beneath me. And I would request and require my staff to be the same.
And somebody just told me this less than 2 weeks ago, and they were saying that a management person asked a fellow employee if they would cover a certain area for a few minutes, and the employee said no, without any real explanation as to why. I'm asking you to cover something for a few minutes, and you tell me no. Well, there is a thing called mutual respect, and I thought that was awful, but that's just one of the horror stories I've heard. And like I said, I can say these things because I was there. Okay. Sure,
John, and it goes back to accountability, and it goes also back to the client, the customer comes first.
Yeah.
And if we didn't have customers, guess what? Nobody would have a job down there. So let's be crystal clear. When I started working at Sharp Elementary School, I was looking at the climate and the culture. So I'm really, really big on culture and climate of organizations. My degree is in organizational leadership. And so one of the things that I put up in every single teacher's room on their doors is they don't say how much you know until they know how much you care. And that was really the gist of how we did things there. We have to first care and show them that we care. And then you know what? When you do that, they will give you anything. They will go to fight for you, bat to bat, head to head, toe to toe. And so I think that's how you have to do people. Like, you have to be that solid person that says, you know what? Let's see what you need. What can we do to help you? And so it has to be that kind of climate. An atmosphere in order for it to run smoothly. And we want to run an efficient court. That's, at the end of the day, that's how we're going to be judged. We want efficiency in the court.
I don't know. And again, like I say, I know how that office can run. I know. I mean, you know, it was a good job, okay? And again, all you got to do is serve. All you got to do is render service. That's all.
Yeah,
you know, like I said, nobody's coming down there for something good, okay? Something has happened to trigger that visit. So that's all I'm saying. Before I let you got anything else you want to add? Because I got one more question I want to ask you before I let you out of here.
Oh, no, you're good. You can ask me whatever. Go ahead.
Okay. You sure I can ask you
I
this?
do want to say, you can ask whatever you want to answer, but let me say this. Let me say that early vote, I need for everybody to be aware of what's going on in the election. Everybody will have a different location on election day, potentially. They close 23 voting sites. Early voting, I'm asking and requesting everybody to early vote. Of course, they're not until the 16th, though, because the 13th is when it starts, but then there's Friday, so because for Good Friday, and the only place that's going to be open is going to be downtown on the first few days.
Which is awful.
Which is awful, because I hate going downtown. I hate going downtown.
But I'm going to tell you something. So do I. And I'm going to tell you something else also, Stephanie. What people had better check their precincts, because like you said, some of them have been changed.
Yes.
Okay? And and the average person who has been changed, you don't know it yet. And
you don't.
And when Linda Phillips, the election coordinator, was asked about that, she made a request to the county commission that she needed something over $300,000 to get the word out. And I don't care even if you started processing that today, it's still not going to get to some people in time. Okay?
No, it's not. So that's, absolutely. So I'm asking everybody, not only your elderly members, they don't know how to go on the computer.
No.
So go on there and help them out and help, like in neighborhoods, like neighborhood captains. Like I'm going to be going out to different neighborhood watches and neighborhood meetings and talking to them, not necessarily, I'm going to say, vote for Stephanie Gatewood on early voting, but also just to educate. The one thing I do well is community education.
Okay.
So really just educating our members of our community as to what is out there so that everybody can stay woke.
So early voting starts when now? Listen up, people.
April the 13th, Wednesday, April the 13th, and it goes through Thursday, April the 28th.
Okay. And
that Wednesday and that Thursday, the only location that's going to be open is going to be downtown. Friday, there is no voting because it is Good Friday. It will open back up on Saturday, the 16th. And what they're saying is that Saturday is going to be open in the community.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get a listing so that we can go ahead and start sharing that with everybody.
Okay, then. Okay, sounds good. Okay, my last question. Since last time you and I laid eyes on each other, something big happened in your life. You got married.
So that has nothing to do with juvenile court clerk done.
But you got married.
Let me just go on the record to say that.
You know,
it has nothing to do with this week. But yes, I did.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And the individual everybody knows.
I don't know him. Who is it?
Yeah, you do. It's a bad boy. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they're coming for you? No, I'm kidding. No. But William Bedford Jr., Mr. William Bedford. So, yes, and he has been just amazing support in ensuring that we get elected. This is amazing. But I generally do not talk about my personal life. It's my personal life in politics. That's totally different. And I am a mama bear, so I fight for the people. I fight for the people that I care about.
How is your son?
And I fight for all citizens.
I'm staying personal right now. How's your son?
Oh, you are staying impressed. Oh, son is great. He will be 20. No, he'll be 30 this year.
You still think he's a child. You
I know, right? He will be 30. And I have 2 grown children. I have 2 grandchildren.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I do this work so that I can go to my grandson's college graduation.
There you go.
I have a young grandson. He's 11.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see him grow up to flourish.
There you go.
So, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Go. Well, like I said, congratulations on all of it. You know what I mean? The marriage. And like I said, boy, when we used to talk, you talk about your son, and I thought maybe the child was 3 or 4 years old. but I guess that's that mama bear mentality.
It's the mama bear mentality.
Okay.
And, yeah, if I will fight for the people that I love, and for me, it's about service.
Yeah.
It's about advocating. It's about advocating for those who don't have a voice.
Well,
it's about advocating for those who do not have a voice, or who feel that their voice is unheard.
Let me say something, and I want to make this plain, okay? I want to make it clear. You're my choice for a juvenile court clerk. Okay, because like I said, I've worked there before. I know what that office can do versus what it's doing now. Okay, it's not about a popularity contest. It's about service. Okay, you have demonstrated community service before in another office, and then, like you say, even after you left that office, you continued to serve in different areas. Okay, that was to help uplift people that were kind of down, you know what I mean?
Right.
So again, and like I said, I've always liked your heart. Okay, sometimes I think I think those strings are too easy. So come on, Stephanie. Okay, get tough, you know. But that's just you.
See, so that's disengaging though, because sometimes, but don't take my kindness for weakness. Because I can go there with you if I need to.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look.
So that's real talk. And then let me just share this last, John. Let me just say that, you know, on the campaign trail I've heard, oh, this person has endorsed me and this person has endorsed me. And I'm just going to say that I am not asking for any elected official's endorsement. The only endorsement I want is the endorsement of the voters.
There you go.
I want every voter to go to those polls. This is a countywide race, so every Shelby County can vote for Stephanie Gatewood. If you live in Raleigh, Bartlett, Cordova, North Memphis, Arlington, Collierville, Millington, all those municipalities, yes, please do vote. Stephanie Gatewood, your next juvenile court clerk 2022.
Thank you very much. We'll have to do
My
this.
name is Stephanie Gatewood, and I approve this message.
Yeah. Okay, I was waiting on a disclaimer. Okay.
There you go, John. There you go.
But I tell you what, we'll have to do this again at some point, so we'll stay in touch, okay? And like I said, if there's anything that I can do for you, you got my number. All you got to do is call me, okay?
Thank you. Or text. And if you have any listeners who have questions for me, please shoot them to me. I'll be more than happy to answer. You know, I answer even tough questions.
Okay.
Especially tough questions.
You
know how?
The website.
Yes. The website is https StephanieGatewood.com. It's just my name, StephanieGatewood.com. I will send you a link to it, and you can shoot it out if you'd like.
Okay.
Also on Facebook, you can like my Friends to Elect Stephanie Gatewood page, and there we will put information about the campaign. On the 25th of March, we are having a wine and cheese fundraiser, and that's going to be at our campaign headquarters.
Where's that located?
So, John, why don't you come out? It's 3681 Cherry Road. And we will have our yard signs there. If you want a yard sign,
that's not far from me. That's not far from me at all.
Oh, good. Yeah, we have a store that we're raising money for the campaign, because you cannot run a campaign without money. You can, but we got to really get out there. It's almost like, you know, you can just see the ring and it's in sight. And all you got to do is just jump a little bit up and get that ring. That's where we are.
I got you.
Yes,
okay, let's stay together on this. And like I say, anything I can do, let me know. Because if I need you, I'm gonna call you. Okay.
Absolutely. Please do. Thank you so much, and thank you for having me on your show.
Anytime. You know that. Okay.
All right.
Take care, Stephanie.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, Stephanie Gatewood, she is running for juvenile court clerk. She is my choice. And I say that because I know what that office can and should do. Again, folks, there is so much more that can happen out of that office. And like I've said, and it's not easy, but it's the truth. Okay, when we start talking about children and families and all of that, that should not be a popularity contest. No. It should be about service. It should be about service. Okay? Here's a person who has demonstrated service, public service, for umpteen years now. She didn't go for the glamorous jobs. She worked in the trenches where these problems are. This is what I've said to you all of late. When people start hollering about decreasing crime and all of this other stuff, okay, I see about 6 or 7 people crowded around one person, and they're saying, well, we're going to do this and we're going to do... No. You can't do it up there. You've got to come down here where it's happening.